Why should people die because I need to go to power? Why should people die? If people don't want you, rest in peace. Why do you need to force yourself on people? If you have done the right work, let the people be the judge, for God's sake.
Yes, sir. That's nice.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your greatest support. Now, fellow Kenyans, there is something that I do talk about, and I normally say this, that Kenyans are normally very good people, and Kenyans can stand for each other in either good and bad times. And if you really want to know that Kenyans love each other, try to attack any Kenyan. Whether you are outside the country or within the country, you know, Kenyans have got this character that they can attack each other. Kenyans can attack themselves. Like, they can decide to attack William Ruto, they can decide to attack Gachagua, they can decide to attack Stacy, that is fire, say fire, Noma, say Noma. But when you try now to attack the fire, say fire, the Stacy guy, when you are outside the country, you are not a Kenyan, that is where now you draw the line. And that is where now you know that Kenyans are serious people and they don't like jokes. Why am I bringing this narrative? I'm bringing this narrative because of the story that Larry Madoa, that is a CNN journalist, covered concerning the issue of Tanzania. And Bishop JWC is trying to explain this so well. In fact, he's saying that if you know very well that people don't love you, please rest in peace. You know, African leaders, they have got this issue, they have got this tendency of forcing issues. I do say that there's no need of forcing things. If people love you, it will come out automatic. If people hate you, don't force yourself to be loved. Don't force yourself to be where you don't want, people don't want you to be. Same as love. You know, I've met different people, I've talked to different people, I've seen my friends, you know, I've seen a lot of people, very many people. People forcing things to work, things that can't work. There's no need of being where you're not needed. You know, so as a leader, don't force yourself to be elected. Don't kill people simply because you want power. Power is temporary. Leadership is temporary. So in as much as you're killing people, you know, the moment you kill people in order to rule or to rule them. Now, my question is this. After killing these people, who are you going to rule? After accusing these people, taking some of them to jail, doing all sorts of things. So at the end of the day, you'll come to realize that you've killed so many people. So who are going to rule at the end of the day? That is where now people make that is where I think that is where the mistakes normally come from. That now you hate, now you are killing people that are supposed to lead. You are accusing them falsely. You are saying that they were paid. Who paid them? You can't tell us that what happened in Tanzania was simply because somebody somewhere paid Tanzanians to go on the streets to strike because they didn't want your leadership, and that is why you killed over 3,000 of them. And now you're trying to accuse the CNN that all the videos that were being shared was AI, artificial intelligence generated. So, okay. Who doesn't? So shooting people or burying people somewhere in a hidden place an open place like kama msitu. So that is AI. Somebody burying the clothes of their children. People burying the clothes of their children. Wanachimba kaburi alafu wanazika nguo na viatu vya watoto wao. So that is simply because they can't get the bodies of their children to bury. So that is AI. So AI is taking opposition leader to jail or to remand simply because you fear. That is AI. AI is you going to be sworn in a military camp simply because you fear that citizens can come and attack you. That is AI. AI is police officers shooting thousands and thousands of people on a broad daylight, killing them. That is AI. Come on, Africa. Come on, East Africa. And our leaders are fond of this. You even heard our leaders in Kenya during the Gen Z's demonstration, that is last year. when they were saying that if Kimani Chungwa was opened his mouth and said that what the Gen Zs knew was what Gen Zs were doing, walikuwa nalala inafika saa 8 wanaenda they were like going to eat KFC, you know, with their iPhones, you know, taking videos, and then they call that demonstration. They walk with water, you know, and then somebody, I don't know, was it Kiari? I don't know who was that, who was saying that he is an expert. Yeah, he's an expert, so he knows the AI generated videos and images. So all those things were AI generated. Come on. I think it's high time our leaders realize that whatever they're doing, what they're accusing others of is beyond them. And these things that they are doing, they can't do it anymore. It's more than what they can do. It's more than what they're doing. You know, and personally, I think and believe so well that these things can change. We can change, this narrative can change. Actually, we can change everything. Now, how can we change this perspective? This perspective can change in this way. Leaders should understand that once these people doesn't want us, let us give room for others, because at the end of the day, it's good governance that is what we, you know, these guys normally sing about, oh, good governance, but them themselves, they don't practice that good governance, which is so much shameful. So at the end of the day, we have to realize that what we are doing as citizens, or what we are doing as leaders, is not worthy and is not needed. So I would like us to listen to Bishop John CW from the beginning up to the end, and then after listening to him, please, I would also like you to tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you really think that it was a necessity for Larry Madowo to be attacked by Tanzanians? Saying that, Mara Nini, they're accusing Larry Madowo. Please listen to this, and then you also tell me what you think in the comment section. But please don't forget to subscribe. Watch this.
Larry Madowo issue and how people have been murdered. Now let me explain something. It's not Larry Madowo. When there is a spirit, let me explain how God works. Many of you think that God needs to be visible. When God wants to drive an agenda, he can convince a man that's not born. You're not listening to me. Now, the problem is, if you start a WhatsApp group and speak about what happened in Tanzania, you go on TikTok, your mother and your father will not join it. So what God does, he impresses someone like Pharaoh to have a dream because he intends to save the world. You're not getting it. So it's not about whether he's born again or not. It's not about Larry Madowo goes to church or not. Larry Madowo has the influence, and all things work together. All things, Satanists, atheists, Christians, believers, unbelievers, Jews, Gentiles, Muslims, they're all under God. So God can look and say, based on what I want to do, who has the influence? And then he says it's Larry. Then he begins to put, did you read that word? His spirit was disturbed. So God begins to was Pharaoh a Jew? But was his spirit disturbed? That's what God does. God doesn't only work with Christians. God works with his will. So he begins to disturb the spirit. The man doesn't even know why. How comes? You are not getting it. And then God makes sure that he announces you on the highest realm, CNN. Don't play with God. When God wants you, he will establish something around you. It will bring you back on your knees. If what we saw is true, all those bodies, I pray that the ICC should rise. What if what we saw, I cried yesterday in the night when I saw it. Now, to someone else, they can see and say, now let me show you how you know your spirit is not disturbed. Is the answer you give after. You say, you need propaganda. How do you say something of that nature is propaganda? When bodies, then if it's not true, I challenge Tanzanian government to sue CNN. Sue CNN. Yeah. If it's not true, sue CNN. Sue them. Because they have defamed your name, right? Defamation is a problem. Sue them. I challenge you. Suluhu. I challenge you to sue CNN. I challenge you. You know, for you, your spirit is not stirred up. So you think I speak like you. Me, when I see injustice, my spirit becomes agitated. Why should people die because I need to go to power? Why should people die? If people don't want you, rest in peace. Why do you need to force yourself on people? If you have done the right work, let the people be the judge, for God's sake.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Me sina time ya kukwambia, you know, ever since I came to power, I have built 4 roads. Can't you see the roads? You will know them by their fruit. If truly I've done the work, my fruits will speak for me. I don't need to be a politician and every time I'm shouting about what I've done. What I've done will talk. That if truth that's what happened in Tanzania, what a shame to Africa. And I want the Kenyan government not to be involved. I saw Mudavadi, our minister, speaking about it. He was asked, why did you congratulate? You can see the way he's mumbling it is what. He doesn't even know what he's saying. I want to congratulate you for successfully. There was no success in that win. Which government, even Trump, has he ever gotten 98%? Stick to the gospel. Mambo ya siasa wacha. And then they think they are so deep. Do you even see the size of the mouth when they are speaking? They think they have gathered so much wisdom to speak like that. Wait until you are called for your mother's body. You wait. You wait. Now we are talking stupidly. Wait until 20. Now, I already saw 2027. And I'm talking about in the spirit. Just look at the minor, what do you call that? Is this that? By election. Natembea was almost killed. Now, whether it is him setting up his goons, I said he was almost killed. Whether it is his people or it was other people. You can't be blaming government or what. You people know what you are doing. Stop trying to use sympathy. Some of you set things up and shoot yourself. One day the guy will forget and shoot you in the head. Because many people just like sympathy. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying whether it is it or not. Nyinyi munakulananga, nyinyi ndio munajua. You know, let me tell you Kenyans, this game that these people play, don't enter. In the night they talk, they share deals, they share contacts. Ni nyinyi tu tunachangwa hapa kama mang'ombe. Kukamuliwa tu maziwa. We're just left here like cows. Our work is just to give vote. Then they wait for you for 5 years for the udder. Do you know when you are milking a cow? And then when the milk is finished, the udder is loose. But in the morning when you come again, the udder is full. So they wait for 5 years for udder to be full. Then we are milked again. Not this time. We are not willing to die for anyone. We are willing to live for God and for generations. No more again. Those of you playing tribal cards, I challenge Tanzania, if it is not true, sue. Kenya will present Mado. Kenya, so we will present him. Yeah, Kenya is willing to present Larry. Sue him if it's not true, but if it is true, we will shout. Forget those of you Tanzanians. I saw a sheikh in Tanzania saying, ati sijui ni wa Kristo analeta. Tutaleta. Oh, and then someone today in the morning was saying, why is Kenya so involved? What is it you have? We are involved. We are involved in injustice. What do we want in your nation? We want good leadership for people. Do you have to be a Kenyan for you to... Yani, you are telling me... Okay, let me ask you a question. But you know the question I want to ask you. If your spirit is disturbed, call men of God. If Larry did the wrong thing, but I can tell you, why did it God? You, Joseph, I even hear how you speak in tongues. Have you ever heard Larry speak in tongues like that? After Menson Siladi, God did not give you an opportunity to speak about Tanzania. There is nothing much you can do. So God goes to Larry. But there are things God will give you an opportunity and Larry cannot do anything. Do you understand how it works? What it means that God is in love with his will more than his people. And anyone that will fulfill it will be protected by him. God loves his will. His will. He says, I found a man after my heart. He did not find a man after a man. The issue is not the man. the issue is the heart of God. He wants God's will done. And it is such a shame. All those leaders have congratulated what happened in Tanzania. I know there is a political angle to it, but let me tell you, when it comes to life and death, put tribes aside, put politics aside. When it comes to life and death, put tribes aside, put politics aside. These are people. Someone is saying, not many people died, is 20. Even one person. Even one person. Did you not check in the Bible that heaven, angels rejoice over one person? If one person can make all of heaven rejoice, why should one death? Atilari is lying. It is not 2,000 people, it is 20. So you are saying 20 is little. You are saying 20 is little. That's what you are saying. And how comes among those 20, there is no relative of these people? A lady was shot at the back, 3 months pregnant. Did you see that? 3 months. You saw the bullet. You know, I saw the bullet enter that lady. 3 months. So you have not just killed her. You have killed a generation. In the police task force, there is something called, if you have ever had a gun, when you are given a gun, there is something called de-escalation. The purpose of a gun is to protect before kill. The last thing you do with a gun is to kill. But the original intent of a gun is to protect. What made the police shoot this way? The goal is to scare, not to tear. Because that bullet found that woman here. That means the shot was aimed at people and it was a live bullet. You fool. You kill for leaders. When they leave office, where will you be? You destroy 50 years. 5 years. You fool. That's why I'm putting pressure on our president. And many of you cannot understand the difference between truth and hate. I don't hate him. I expect better from him. He is the president of the EAC, right? East Africa Community. Summon these people. You have the power. And then the matter will just be spoken, politicized, and everything will be left. Wa Kenya, tuacheni. Bloggers of government. There is no Tanzania speaking like that. And if you are a useless Tanzanian. Go to Mexico. Don't play when people's lives are. Forget parties when it's about people's lives. Forget parties, forget religions. My spirit is stirred up. And guess what? I did not call magicians. I have men around me you don't know. Forget you church people. There are men I can't say publicly. Men that advise me. I can't say. Before you see me go for something, you know there is heavy advice around me.
Course Creator 360's once a year Black Friday offer is officially live until November 28th at midnight. We have